Oh Lord, I did not wake up and expect such.
How are you?
Oh,
good.
Lord. This bitch is shaking the table. This bitch is shaking the table. This bitch is shaking the table. Hi. How are you?
Good. It's been forever.
However many months before. I know. We just seen each other like, what, however many months before lockdown happened?
It was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And it was like very briefly.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. Okay. So, girl, I'm gonna let you start. You know, I'm gonna let you start this round because go ahead.
I don't even know where to start. Honestly, I think I'm still so upset and even still trying to figure out my emotions. But like you said before, I think in the beginning when you started this live, like, this is not an isolated incident. You know, there are many people in the dance community that, you know, take advantage of what they get from the Black culture. Mm-hmm. But then it's upsetting, you know, because we are so open, we are so willing to share, like, yes, like, work, girl, you know, like, yeah, wear those braids, twerk that booty, you know, dance to that Chris Brown song, make your money. But then when it comes time to come out and support, you know.
And with you saying that, I'll say this, because I feel like this is a part of the discussion with everything that's going on is how people are supposed to spread awareness. And I know a lot of my non-Black friends who have came to me during this time and asked me how can they help. And I just want people to understand that if you're asking me, how can you help? You could have also asked Google.
And that's the thing too. Something,
you know, if you're asking how you can help in a real way, you could have also asked Google. You could have, you know, or if you're asking me how to help, and you know, it's up to me whether or not I feel like I'm the one that's supposed to tell you how, you know, how to go about this, even though, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know, like, I would say it's kind of like riding a bike. You know, you fall a couple times, you're going to figure out how to find your balance. You know what I mean?
You know, and that's the part too, like, something that I had an issue with Nicole Kirkland's apology was before it even got to anything meaningful, it was all this stuff about, like, oh, well, you know, in regards to FMA or whoever was around her, like, well, they should have said something if they had an issue with me saying the N-word. Or, oh, I have friends that are Black and they let me say the N-word. There's all this responsibility put on Black people. We are busy. We are busy going through our struggle. We are busy being stressed. We are busy reliving the pain of, you know, our Black relatives and brothers and sisters over and over again. And we also have to educate you as well. When you are grown, you're about to be 30 years old. You're about to be a big 30 years old, and you need someone else to tell you that it's not okay to say the N-word in this kind of climate in 2019. Like, and some people are like, oh, well, it was a year ago, like, that makes it better. That was 2019. Like, that culture has been there where you shouldn't need to be saying that.
Yeah. Child.
And it's not, I had someone in my DMs that kind of came and was like, oh, no, you're spreading this and that. Why don't you put, you know, nonprofits? Why don't you spread more positive information? Why is it my responsibility? If that's what you want to find, why can't you go out and find that?
Right.
You know, like, I'm here doing what I can at this current moment in time.
Everybody has to stop trying to tell the people that are feeling this the most right now how to manage their feelings. Like, right. I really am sick of everybody trying to say that we all need to be singing Kumbaya and everybody needs to be nice. We should be nice to some people right now. You know, the people that really want to learn and the people that really want to do better. And, you know, I pray that things were different. I pray that I could pray that this day didn't happen and that she hadn't have said it and that she just understood this without anybody having to tell her. It would be in a perfect world, maybe. But that's not the case. And I can honestly, with somebody sitting up and asking me, have you tried to have conversations with her? I cannot sit up and tell them that no, because I have. And me personally, the same way, you know, and I can't say that it was the same for you because that was so long ago. But, you know, it's just a matter of sometimes when you see things, you just move accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And sometimes everybody's not gonna take the route that Effie took and blast her on the internet. Even though that may be the route that some people want to take, some people are not that bold.
I told Effie too, I texted her, I was like, you know, that takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to call out. It takes a lot of courage to call out your white peers. You know, especially because, you know, for those of you that don't know, I was in Kirkland crew, like the OG Kirkland crew when it started, like, and it would be hard for me to call out someone that I view as a mentor,
right?
Someone that, you know, I'm hoping to work with, someone that I respect. So I think that's also not fair for people to assume like, oh, these girls around her should be, you know, telling her what it is. The girls around her are probably also kind of yes men. You know, the girls around her are probably also feeding that ego, you know, and how do you approach someone that, you know, you look up to and say that? It's not that easy.
And me being somebody that even from the start, even when I, you know, was hungry to train underneath her, I sought out training from Nicole.
Yeah.
I sought out training from Nicole. I sought out her class because I liked her art. I liked the way she created, and I wanted to be a part of it. But what I've never been is a yes man. Every time I see, every time I see something happen, I'm always the one to speak up about something that makes me uncomfortable. And it may not have been her saying the N-word or, you know, whatever the case may be, because that has never happened between me and her. Because hold on. That's Mom said. I've been around her a lot. Me and Ned have been around her a lot.
I think just a quick comment too. There's some people even on JR's post, JR's live, and you know, other lives where it's like, oh, she apologized, it's over with. Like, there's bigger things. This is one of those things that is big. The people that are in the community that hold these, you know, that have these huge platforms but don't want to speak out on their platforms, that take, you know, that take young black women under their wing, take young black women and have them around, have them in their videos and use them for profit. Like, literally using young black women for profit, and then don't want to come correct when it's time to step up.
Yeah, you don't want to come correct, and this is a conversation, like I said, like, there are lengthy conversations that need to be had, and I will gladly be the catalyst for them to be had. But a lot of people in the dance industry, and I've gone through this, not only in instances such as this one, but seeing people feel like they're somebody's savior.
And that part too, like in the text messages between her and FMA when she's calling out like, oh, well, I was going to drive you to the bay. Or like, oh, well, I did so much for you. Even with me, when I was forced to leave Kirkland crew, the first thing was like this whole complex of like, I did this for you. I made you. I built you. How could you not be loyal to me?
Right.
You know, and there's that same white savior complex.
Because it's like, because the fact of the matter is, if I would have went to somebody else's class.
Wait, what was that? I didn't hear that last part.
I said, if I would have went to somebody else's class who also has a YouTube channel, somebody was going to see me.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to be seen, regardless.
Yeah.
You know? Like, and this isn't like, we're simply speaking on our own personal experiences. And And I'm seeing people talking about how, Nicole said to leave Ariane out of it. And personally, I do think people should leave her out of it simply based off the fact of what we were just talking about. You cannot hold Ariane more accountable than you hold her.
Yeah, and I have no interest in talking about Ariane.
I have no interest in talking about that.
We can move on from that. No one's even talking about her.
That's not what we're talking about. People always like to spread the fucking and make it a broad umbrella and put all these people underneath it when we're talking about one.
Yeah.
We're talking about one, and we're talking about one that just it's like a, what do you call it? It's like a domino effect. It's like a domino effect. This instant opened up the floodgates for, just people that may feel this way about other choreographers in the dance industry, and it doesn't have to deal with, fuck, I just lost my train of thought because I'm trying to read comments and talk at the same time.
I was looking at comments too. I think, someone had said, like, oh, they kind of disagree with how she could have been making, like, profiting off of the young black women in the crew. But, I mean, I disagree with that. It's like, having someone like you, someone like FMA, someone like Sierra, like, all the diversity that we brought and all of the things that all the creative visuals she was able to bring to the table, everything that she was able to do, having you guys there, like, and then having her hip-hop classes, teaching to black music, teaching to black artists, having you guys in the videos. If she did a twerk routine to some ratchet song, she would give you a solo and put you as the cover photo on her YouTube page. Things like that is profiting off of, the people around you. And if you want to take part in the culture, like I said, like, I feel like black culture is so open, you know what I mean? Like, but then when it comes time, if one of these women comes to you and personally asks you, like, hey, like, this is going on in the world of my people, can you shed light on it? And you have an issue with that, then
or not,
it doesn't make sense.
And I do agree with, we shouldn't, like, I heard somebody say this, not everybody's part that's supposed to play in this is supposed to be the advocate that shares all the information. Because, quite frankly, we know who's sharing the information and what reason they're sharing the information. You can't, like, either way the information is getting shared, that's great, but take an authentic standpoint and being a positive change in what we need going on right now. Like, figure out what it is that you really need to do. And the fact of the matter is I watched a lot, live with Effie, so I heard what she had to say, and Effie did come. Effie did come several times trying to have a conversation, and whether or not, people always say, we should be welcoming to people when we're having these talks. And the fact of the matter is, it's not a welcoming topic. Nobody wants to feel welcomed into talking about why black people have a hard time, why black people are being murdered in the street, why black people can't go into a store and just be okay. It's not a welcoming conversation, so you shouldn't feel welcomed. You should feel welcomed in having the conversation, but you should feel eager to have a conversation if you're really looking for some form of understanding. And that's what it comes down to, because I would love to sit down and be able to have a conversation with people that aren't just thinking, because people right now are always trying to say that somebody's trying to call somebody a racist. Like, if that's what somebody wants to say, that's what they're going to.
What was the last part?
I said, if somebody wants to call somebody a racist, that's what they're going to say.
Yeah. And I think this issue, though, too, like, I don't think Nicole's racist. Like, I've never seen her do any racist, but she's ignorant, and her actions were ignorant. And, you can't say, oh, I'm ignorant, I didn't know. Like, you're too old to not know. you know, you're too old to not know that to say the N-word is, you can't do that, you know, and so I don't think anyone's accusing her of being racist. I don't think anyone is, oh, I hate her, or I hate that bee, like anything like that. At least not coming from us.
Right.
You know, but
so I can't speak, like, I never speak to anybody else's feeling. Like, I can't tell nobody else how to feel about this. I can only share what it is that I know, what it is that I feel. And my whole thing about this was not trying, like, people not trying to discredit somebody else's, you know, somebody's experience with the person by saying that, oh, people are trying to cancel her. She already got her foot in the door. Period.
She did it. And my thing too. So, you know, these messages come out between Nicole, Kirkland, and FA. And, you know, obviously it's kind of like, ooh, like, what's she going to say? I was ready for her to be like, what's she going to say? I was ready for it. JR gives her this amazing platform where he really gave her so much time, so much opportunity. He really tried to pull her in the right direction of like, hey, you know, like the community's here. We are all listening to you. What is it that you want to say? And she had nothing useful to say. All she could do was make excuses. All she could do was blame it on the people around her. All she could do was just keep talking in circles, you know, and she couldn't own up to it. And then the tears started coming about how people are going to hate her. And it's like, I have no sympathy for that, because I would respect you a lot more if it was just upfront, yep, you know, I said it. It was wrong. And not only it was wrong, but this is why it's wrong.
Right.
It's wrong because that word has been used to dehumanize and criminalize, you know, and terrorize people in America for over 400 years. And that is not my culture. That is not my ancestry. I'm no part of that culture, and I need to tell my followers not to say it as well.
Right.
That was not said anything close to that. I heard nothing close to that. You know, and so that's why I have no sympathy for that. And I do hope she grows, and I do hope she learns from it. But at the same time, it's like, I can't give you the book, put you in front of it, make you read it.
Right.
You know?
Because again, like I was trying to say, and like you just said, I was pulling her in the right direction of that being a pivotal moment of accountability. And
that moment, and she chose to take that moment. People on here are saying, "Oh, it was too soon." She made her choice to make it that moment. And also, I don't know why it should take a year to realize after someone first, you know, approaches you about it, a year to realize it, like, you know, whatever, but she made her choice to make the apology then and there. So I don't think it was too soon.
Somebody said not too soon. It happened last year.
It happened last year. It's not too soon. What it is, it was too soon for her because she hasn't done the work.
Right.
The reason why it may have been too soon is because she hasn't done the work. She hasn't educated herself. She is still ignorant, and she will continue to be ignorant until she chooses to sit down and do that work, like all of us are doing the work.
Right.
Like, I'm African American, and a lot of these struggles I didn't even know about until I was almost an adult. I had to research about myself. I had to research about other people. I had to research about the Pride movement. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many. It's Pride Month this month, and I have to research about all those things because I have loved ones in my life that go through their own experiences. And if she claims to have all these loved ones that are Black and come from that culture,
yeah, and
I don't get.
Y'all, we lost the live. I wasn't paying attention to the time. But I can't see mine because my screen fucked up. Hi, everybody. Sorry, we ran out of time, but we gonna bring Alexis right back in.
Right.
They said, you're
right.
They said, your time is up. Shut up.
Oh my God. I was wondering, Charles, like, we've been going in for a minute. Like,
you're like, damn, they doing us like they did Jill Scott, Erykah Badu. They gave them bitches 3 hours.
Right. and you know, just continuing on, it's like, and that's something that doing my own research and my own education has, like, that's what's made me so passionate about my, you know, Black culture, because I am biracial. I'm Mexican and Black, and I personally have always been torn between the two. Where do I fit in? Am I Black enough? Am I Mexican enough? Like, what the heck is going on? And you know, there's so much about African American culture that people don't even know. The stuff that we've been through, the things we've had to overcome. And so people, like I said earlier, people want to be a part of the culture, but they don't want to be a part of the problems.
Right.
They want to like the benefits, they want the swag, they want the music.
Every time you get backed into a corner and forced to say something, like, for instance, and this is something I never really addressed out of my mouth on Instagram, and I'm not sure if you know this, but, like, being backed into a corner is never fun. Try being backed into a corner where you're not the one in the wrong. Try being backed into the corner when you're not the one in the fucking wrong. And everybody telling you to be the bigger person. And you having to be scared about being labeled the angry Black girl.
Right.
Out of somebody stealing something from you. Something that you birthed yourself. Something that I look at something that I created and see when somebody else took from it. Which is the reason why I can call to when I've been inspired by somebody when I'm making something up. But that's a talk for a whole nother time. That's a talk for a whole other time. But, you know, when you're backed into a corner, you can't just be like, I don't want to say anything. Because even when people are backed into a corner and forced to say that they're wrong when they're not, somehow you still believe the person that's saying they're wrong when they're clearly not. Because they're taking accountability not only for themselves but for the other person. So if Effie was forced to get on this lot or get on live and be like, I'm sorry for exposing her, I would have been like, sit your ass down and take that shit back. That's what the fuck I would have. Because absolutely not. It's happened to me, and I never want to see it happen to another person again, because you just, you know, we all know. We all know. Anybody with a conscience and anybody with a real brain that the education system did not fail knows right from fucking wrong. Right. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that would rather save face and, you know, cry their way out of situation. You know, when I was getting my ass beat as a kid, my mama said, stop crying before I give your ass something to cry about.
You know, and that's the thing too, you know, in regards to, like, you know, FMA and whether, like, she shouldn't have to apologize for, you know, speaking up on behalf of, you know, Black people in general. You know, you can't be saying the N-word, and I'll say it 1,000 more times. Like, that was so brave and so courageous of her to use her platform and to say what she could, right, to bring light to the situation. But a lot of the times, like, I find myself in a situation where I've tried to stand up, and then I'm made to look like a bad person, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I'll go back into my box.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry for making you uncomfortable. Like, you know, you're the bigger person, you're older, you're the authority, whatever it may be. Let me go back into my corner, and you do you. Let's forget it happened. But I think this is the time where we don't need to be forgetting what happened. Like you said in JR's live, you were like, you know, this has happened before, but the buck stops here.
Right.
Like, this is where it stops.
Let's be honest. Let's talk about this. We cannot go back in time. So everybody that's talking about people before we're letting her, well, the question back to the matter is the buck stops here. We're talking about how we're done with it. My phone charger. Sorry. So, but it is out there. Girl. Well, anyways, but no, yeah. So. And let's talk about another thing. Ain't nobody working right now. So all that trying to say save face for jobs that's not happening? Let's talk about that. Because ain't nobody working right now. Tell me, share with me something I don't know. Please, can I use this? Sorry. It's okay. Yes, please share the information because I don't know who's working right now that needs to save face for some jobs that ain't coming. And I've never been one to be afraid, and people have been asking, like, if we really want to talk about, what Black people can do better, it's being willing to say no to these people, to say no to working for some of these people when you know that they have not always reflected what's best for, or not even what's best for you, but just if that person doesn't directly align with the things that sit right with your spirit, it's up to you to decide what you want to do for a check. Right. That's on you, but something that we can do better as a people is stop giving people that don't want to do the work footholds in Black spaces.
Right. And I feel like there's a lot of non-Black people and non-Black people of color that obviously profit off of, Black efforts and Black culture and Black achievements, especially in the entertainment industry. And, that's fine. That's been happening. That's cool. Whatever. But you can't do that and then not show up for times like this. And I think there's even some people in the comments like, oh, this isn't the time for this. This isn't the time. This is the time for this. This is the time for these conversations because they haven't been had in the past. They haven't had this recognition. And it's not until we have these uncomfortable conversations with Black women, with Black people at the helm, yes, we gave her a chance to apologize and other people have, in similar situations do that as well. But this is important. This is important. Yes, there are Black people being killed, but there's also people in our community that don't want to step up and support, our efforts.
Right. Or try and, again, make the spaces there for us instead of
make spaces.
For lack of a better word, because I can tell that that's the way people are looking at it right now, and it's almost like, people are looking at it like we just dethroned the queen. Like,
is that how it is?
No, not to me.
Not to me.
Not to me, but
I was like, oh, is that what happened?
No, you said, oh, is that what's happening? No. But people are looking at it like we just dethroned somebody. And the fact of the matter is,
she dethroned herself. If that dethroned, whatever. The thing is, don't place blame on other people. She did things of her own actions, of her own accord. It's her responsibility. It's all her.
Right. And oh my God, sorry. That was something else going on over here. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was a decision that was made solely by one person. Therefore, solely only one person can take accountability for what happened, even if it was an instance between two people. You can only take accountability for what you said and what you did.
Yeah.
It's not, which is why I'm saying nobody, like JR said, nobody has the right to tell anybody what to do with the information that they have on other people. The same way, it can happen to anybody. Anybody could feel like you was a bitch to them, and I can assure you that there are probably people do have screenshots of me cursing them the fuck out that they could post. Okay. They do have them, and that's their business if they want to share them. And I will stand by because I said what the fuck I said. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I said what the fuck I said, and everybody just needs to move at that accord. On that accord, and saying what you said and standing in it, and not backtracking. just be accountable for it. If you're sorry for it, be like,
just be accountable. There's plenty of people. She is not the first person with the platform that's been caught saying the N-word, that's been caught doing something she shouldn't have been doing. Like, she's not the first person. She will not be the last. However, she is someone that failed, when she had the opportunity to apologize. She did fail to say anything meaningful. And everyone in the comments on JR's live was not feeling it either. No one was feeling it. No one was here for it. And I honestly was surprised, and I was like, I'm not feeling it either. Like, this isn't blaming it on the black people around you is not going to work. Blaming it on how you grew up is not going to work. Blaming it on the Bay is not going to work. It's not going to. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to work. It doesn't work that way.
In conclusion, what we're saying is,
tell us what we're saying. I just want to say some things. So, like, I feel like this conversation about this topic in particular is special because me and you were both on Kirkland crew.
Right.
We both were under her wing in a way where we were both black women under her mentorship.
Right.
And we sought that role out because we did respect her, look up to her. I think this is insightful because we have certain insights that maybe other people don't have as far as, being a mentee, being in the Kirkland crew, whatever it was. And not calling anybody a racist, not calling Nicole a racist. I'm simply calling her ignorant. I'm simply saying she has not done the work. If this did happen a year ago and today she was not even able to form a coherent apology that sounded any type of intelligent, that sounded in any type of way that she knew what was going on, wasn't educated, wasn't informed. Just because you have a black girlfriend, or just because you had a black boyfriend, just because you have black friends, that doesn't excuse you. And actually, that probably means that you should be doing more work because you have people in your life that you love that are going through stuff.
Right.
So that's my take on it.
Yes. My take on it is, folks. Oh, God. There'd be so many things going through my head at one time. But all I'm saying is stop giving people excuses. Because we are so past giving people excuses. And the fact of the matter is also that, and I don't care what anybody has to say about this, we know who wants to learn and who doesn't. So if you want to learn, pick up the book and read. And if you don't want to learn, get out the way.
Right. And if you don't want to learn, that's fine. That's not my business. But then don't take part in my culture. Don't make money off my culture if you don't want to learn about it.
Right.
If you want to be over there and be ignorant, that's your business. I don't got nothing to do with that. But when you want to come over here and profit off the black people that come to your classes every week, that purchase the stuff, that get your merch, that do all this stuff, then it's different. Then we need to have a conversation.
Like, I'm sorry, but hold on, Mitchell Kelly. He said something. He said the other dancers that tell me stories about other teachers need to call out these other teachers they take. Exactly. And this is something that I learned early on in my training in LA was that you take accountability for the training that you receive. And that goes to show that, I'm not going to hold you. There's some black choreographers that don't align with me or, that I don't get I don't get I will flourish there from them or that I can benefit from being around them. So everybody is not exempt, everybody is not exempt, You're responsible for your own training. So yes, I do feel like if you've taken somebody's class and they've done things that made you not feel comfortable, I'm not saying it's on to get on the internet and tell everybody that you didn't like what they did in their class, but do your due diligence and tell your fellow dancers, hey, this is what's happening, and I'm not telling you to make you feel some type of way, but I thought I would just pass this information along. You got to be willing to do that. Another thing. gotta be willing to lose some people that you thought were your friends along the way. You gotta be willing to do that. That is a part of what's going on too. Some people be so scared to say that they not friends with somebody. Why?
Right.
Why you so thirsty for friends? Don't you love you? Bitch, I can sit alone with myself for 2 weeks and come out a new person because I figured out how to love myself better in those 2 weeks that I spent by myself.
And it's times like this when you have to decide, like, okay, am I cool just being on my own? Am I cool dropping this person or that person? And I feel like those are times of growth. Like, I had a lot of times of growth when I left, when I had to leave Kirkland crew. I had to leave all you guys too. You guys are my friends. You guys are my social circle.
Right.
I saw your asses every week. And when I was forced out to Kirkland crew, I had to realize, like, okay, you know what? I need to be okay on my own. What am I going to do next? Who are the people that care about me? Who are the people that, are here to uplift me? And, I am so glad that me and you have come back full circle, that we have reconnected. And I think it probably needed that time, for it to be a true connection.
And, some certain things need time. And this probably was one of those things that needed time, apart from you separating yourself. And again, like I said, me not being the person that I didn't feel comfortable coming to you and asking you, what happened. So I let that time pass.
Those are uncomfortable moments. Like, I was uncomfortable. I really have a big thing with authority. I always have. Maybe it's because of the way I was raised. I don't know. But I've always been so respectful of authority. I always call people Mr. and Mrs. You know what I mean? Like, and so for me, that was a really big thing for me to be like, wait, I don't agree with what you're saying. Is this going to work? Are we still going to be able to have this relationship? Talking about me and Nicole, like, because she was someone I looked up to, she was someone I respected, and that circles back to why it's hard to expect Black peers to have to always educate their white counterparts, or the white people above them, the white bosses, because there is that level of, like, okay, I'm expected to kind of, confront this person, like, and that's not easy.
Hold on, I just want to nip this in the bud for you in the comments. Because I'm seeing people that keep asking, forced out. Listen, this is not a come and PSA, read all about it. Here's all the tea on me and my personal life. We're not bashing anybody, and we're not here to just unload all of our personal experiences for other people's entertainment. That is not.
And I don't really want to detract too much from the main point of what we're talking about. Like, if we can get back on here and talk about that whole tea another time. That's the whole conversation. But I don't want to get too distracted
because. Right, this is not a confessional.
This is not a confessional.
You will know.
I'm just giving you the main points. Just the main points.
We're giving you the main points. And the main points right now, people, is because people in my family march with Martin Luther King. People in my family have had guns held in their face. People in my family, my own brother, I've watched my brother be stopped by the cops in front of our house in our driveway on his own doorstep. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about that. We're talking about people's real pain that has been being overlooked since the beginning of time, because Black people have always been viewed, quote unquote, as such a strong people. We're so strong, right? We should just be, we can weather any storm.
To the point where we can't complain.
Right, to the point where we shouldn't want to complain because our people were made off of the struggle. That doesn't mean that we should have to struggle forever. You know what I'm saying? That's why there's so many people, there's so many Black people that are so desperate to get rich and get on and get this clout and get this notoriety, but still at the end of the day don't understand that all that money still means nothing. It still means nothing if this can still happen. It means it invalidates my experience. It almost invalidates my experiences of working as hard as I do to accomplish the things that I've accomplished this far. When I can look on the internet and see somebody that could have been my blood laid out in front of my eyes on camera. Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about. And we're talking about the need for people to want to understand. To want to understand and to want to do the work and to actually walk and talk what they preach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even us looking at ourselves and needing to practice what we preach. Giving more, always saying that Black people need to, support each other. Okay, well now is the time for us to solely rely on each other.
Mm-hmm. Especially Black women.
Yes.
Because that's a whole other conversation we can get into as far as, there's always been so much against Black people and Black women always being put against one another in the music industry, in the entertainment industry, with colorism, all through that, and I think the main message here is to we all need to have the courage to call out our peers, non-Black people and non-Black people of color, like, hey, you said the N-word the other day, I love you, but this is why you can't really say it, or this is why I'm uncomfortable with it, or you did this the other day, and, just all of us having the courage to really have those uncomfortable conversations, because I've never been in a live and had a conversation like this,
right? Because
Instagram,
usually, people know, usually my lives are about the fun. Okay, bitch, I'm going to get ready with me, face ass.
Right.
I'm going to get ready with me while I get cute and watch me listen to some music online. Okay, but I have come to the decision that it's time for me to do more than just be cute on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not cute. It's not cute right now.
Yeah, it's not cute. It's not cute. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable sharing anything that I've been working on during quarantine. I don't feel comfortable getting on here and talking about what I fucking ate today and how I made a bomb-ass meal and learned how to cook
the selfies ain't cute, the boats ain't cute, your bikini body's not cute. Nothing is cute. Nothing is cute. And it's not what, even for me, it's like, it's been a struggle for me to even try to create, to even try to, how can I post a selfie right now? How can I post a dance video right now when all this is going on? And honestly, I think it takes more effort to ignore the issues. Right. When someone has such a big platform, I think it takes more effort and more of a conscious will to try to ignore it, to try to be like, I'm not going to post, I'm not going to do that, like, maybe I'll repost this one thing and make my profile picture Black. Maybe that's enough. Like, it takes more effort to be ignoring right now because it's all over the place. Because
the world, not the world, at least, Black people are coming to the conclusion that it's time for this to be more than just a passing moment.
Yes.
A passing moment and a passing moment of, giving fallen soldiers really their moment of silence. It's more than a moment of silence. It's more than even those men being convicted and put in jail. Mm-hmm. It's more than that. It's about a prolonged change. And right now, everything seems radical because it is. This is a radical time. Nothing about this is not that. It's all hostile. All of it. People's pain is hostile within themselves. That's why you see people crying and not being able to look at their phones, not knowing what to do with themselves. People's mental health has plummeted so already because we're locked in the house And another thing for Black people that are now locked in the house and being told that they have to be home at a certain time when there's literal army bases being created in downtown LA. Like, there's so many things happening right now that are bigger than this, and that's why it had to be talked about to segue about what is going on, because this is wrong, and it is a product of what's happening in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's happening because it's been allowed to be happened. You know, it's happening because we have allowed it to happen, and so now this is the conversation, and these are the conversations where it's like, okay, no, this is what's up, you know. And Mia Cortez, she commented, and she's like, unlearning, and that's a big thing too. Unlearning all the things, like, oh, well, I was able to do this, I was able to do that. Like, okay, well, no, we got to go back. You got to go re-educate yourself, because you can't do these things, and re-educate yourself and go vote, you know.
And maybe this will make sense to some non-Black women out there, or non-Black people in general. You know, when you've been fucking with a significant other, somebody that you've been dating for a long ass time, and that motherfucker keep doing shit that get on your nerves. They don't call, they don't text, and they pop up when they want to. They pop up when they feel like it, and they pop up when they want to get some ass. Okay?
No,
and you be convincing yourself. You be convincing yourself that they fuck with you still. You convincing yourself that they fuck with you still. You gotta unlearn this nigga's mind tactics,
right,
to keep you in that hole,
right.
And it goes the other way. You
gotta also realize that, you know, that the reason he's acting like that, just because we're in this, you know, this example, the reason he's acting like that is because you've been allowing him to act like that. You've been allowing him to get the booty without having any requirements. You've been allowing him to come in and out late at night. You've been allowing all those things, and so you gotta call him out on it. You gotta call him out on it. And if he's not, we are really deep in this example, but if that person is not able to understand, and if they don't want to change, you can't make him change. You can't make them change. All you can do is present what you can to your peers. Help them educate themselves, but you can't help someone that doesn't want to.
Please read the comment. I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about he damn near raw dog. Whoa. But anyway, I know everybody listening to this gets the gist of what we're saying.
Yes.
Okay? Right now, we're unlearning. And
we're unlearning. We are re-educating.
To look at the receipts of this nigga texting another bitch.
We're unlearning. We're re-educating. We are helping our peers. You know, let's try to have open hearts, and now
somebody said the power of a Black analogy. We love analogies.
See me?
Oh my goodness. Yes, I can see you now.
Okay.
But yes, people, like, and more than anything, just to like steer away from everything that we've been talking about, like, I do want people to still be finding ways to like smile during this time, because I've been having a hard time doing so. So anytime I can get a laugh, you know, I hold on to that laugh and I enjoy that laugh. You know what I'm saying? So do what you can to keep your spirit uplifted in this time when you aren't educating yourself and when you aren't diving into learning new things about a history that isn't as pretty and as clearly laid out as it was in our textbooks in school. It's a lot on both sides of the coin. So, you know, while you take the time to educate yourself, take the time to take care of yourself and be kind to yourself more than anything. Because at the end of the day, you're left alone with how you feel.
Yes.
Like what they said, lift your spirits, pray, meditate, listen to music, text him back, block him, whatever.
Don't text him back, block him.
Don't text him back. Block him. Do whatever it is you need to do to make yourself feel good right now. Okay? Stay lifted. And that's all I can really say.
Yes.
What do you
stay lifted, stay blessed.
You should also stay very close to your friends during this time if you're out here, like, pursuing your dreams or something like that. I know this is a lot going on, so you need your friends to hold you down, because being just in your head and in your room alone, it can really mess you up. I have to take myself out of my room sometimes, or just really, like, integrate myself within the house. So just making yourself emotionally available and vulnerable to the people around you so they can help you during this time. It's crazy.
Yeah. That part. She said. Wait, Nat's mom wants to come in the chat, y'all. It's time to hear our mama speak, Alexis. We gotta hear
Okay, girls. This has been, I'm honestly so glad we had this conversation. You know, it's kind of weird how it came about, but I'm really happy that it happened. I think you're cupping your mic.
Yeah, it's my pink. Yeah, it's, you know, could it have been under different circumstances? We don't know that. All we know is where we're at today. Mm-hmm. We don't know that for sure. So all we know is where we're at today, and we thank God for that.
Yes.
We thank God for that.
Blessed and highly favored.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love you, and I will talk to you soon.
Love you too. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Okay.